What is going on, guys? Want to bring a video and speak as concisely as I can on NFTs, Web3, and decentralization. So let's get started. We're going to start with the easiest one, decentralization. What is that? Easiest way is to look at a diagram. All right, so we can see with centralization, there is a single point of storage or a single entity in charge that everything is connected to. With decentralization, it's the exact opposite. There's not a single point of storage. It's all communicated back and forth among to different nodes, I guess you could call them. And that is how blockchain works. Blockchain is a decentralized digital network. It does not have a single point of storage. If you're thinking about a bank, if the bank is closed and something's wrong and it's completely closed, you cannot get your money out of the bank if it's a single point of failure. Whereas here there's multiple different areas of access and it's a distributed network. That's how cryptocurrency is based on blockchain. It's a distributed network. It's not owned by a single person or entity.
You don't know me, punk.
Each of these participants on this distributed network for blockchain can verify the data that's the distributed public ledger that it is true. So it is a very secure system in that sense. Now, what is Web3? Because I never even knew there was a Web 2. I always just knew it as the web. So there's actually Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. Web 1. So Web 1 was read-only internet. This was like back in the 90s and whatnot, how the internet was just a connection where you could go to read things.
This stuff, I've read it, I know it.
There was no ability to write to the internet. There was no widgets or search engines or applications such like that. So Web 2 is where we had read, write. Now we've been in Web 2 for quite some time and it's evolved a lot. There's obviously a lot more applications and things you can do on the internet, like games and whatnot, all sorts of things back and forth, and that's been a long going one that's evolved quite a bit. But now we're getting into the introduction of Web 3. So it's read, write, and own. This is where NFTs come into play. NFT is a non-fungible token. It is a digital asset such as a picture, video clip, or anything that is basically digitized into code, and then that string of code via a smart contract is proven and given and verified to be yours, and you own it. That you own it on Web 3, which is in a way almost like the decentralized internet, the blockchain internet. This Web 3 is being built out by businesses right now. Every big business right now, they have got to be aware that Web 3 is coming and they've got to have a business plan. And I guarantee you that it's been talked about in board meetings all over the place over the past few months.
May I ask what you're doing in my boardroom?
And it's pretty exciting, and you gotta know about what's going on so that you can hopefully prepare yourself and be in the best situation to take advantage of it. A smart contract is a digital contract which is stored on the blockchain, and it's automatically executed when certain conditions are true. And there's so much like little complexities and twists to smart contracts that can be done to give your digital token, your digital NFT, your digital asset certain characteristics. Some people call it utility, and we're going to dive more into that later. And it's going to be huge, not only just as a vanity thing, which I'm going to dive into more too, but as for business utility, marketing, etc., and some of the examples that are just blowing up all over the internet. For a quick example before we dive into the computer, Gary Vee is huge onto NFTs, and man, the dude, he grinds hard, but he also predicts a lot of future things. And he's got a NFT set called V Friends. And there's different types of VFriends, and they've all got different utility. There's the gifting goat, where you get a gift every quarter. And all these other VFriends that he has that basically written into the code, it's your ticket to his expo every year for the next 3 years. So by buying into it, you're actually getting something for the next 3 years. Now there's also the restaurant he's opening up in New York, where if you hold the NFT, you have access to be able to go to the restaurant. The only way you can get into the restaurant, very prestigious, is by holding the NFT. And so it's pretty mind-blowing, the different types of applications that you can get into with it. But let's take a look at the most popular projects that have been blown up and why it's actually very dangerous right now as well. And I'll briefly talk about that, but let's check it out. Now is 104 Ethereum, which is about $260,000. NFTs have been shattering monthly records in sales. Budweiser has joined in on the NFT craze. First NFT Super Bowl ticket. 3 million people is the last thing I heard on the wait list. YouTube CEO has mentioned NFTs. It's Lamborghini's first NFT set. The creators are just out there to make a buck.